Ernie Ball presents How to Musician with Cory Wong.
Hey everybody! Today's video is all about rejection. Getting rejected from an audition or a job or a band is something that happens to every musician. So today I want to take some time to talk about what we can do when someone else tells us we're just not a good fit. So the first thing you want to do when you get rejected is gather up all your music gear, pedals, guitars, cables. You're not going to be needing any of this anymore, all because somebody told you you didn't have the right look for their jazz brunch trio. You're going to want to make sure, and this is really important, that you have a really well-ventilated area like a backyard or an alleyway. Remember, that one cruise ship gig didn't work out, so why would anything else? When stacking your instruments, you're gonna wanna start with the smaller ones at the bottom. That's the kindling. Then work your way up. First your ukuleles, mandolins, small guitars, medium guitars, big guitars. You get it. And by completely destroying your gear, you not only save yourself from ever being rejected again, but you also guarantee that nobody else has to go through the pain of being denied a Tuesday night theater gig that pays in turkey sandwiches.
Hey Cory, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm burning all my guitars to teach people about rejection.
That is so stupid.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Rejection sucks. And rejection is ubiquitous. Every single person on this planet has wanted something, not gotten it, and felt like crap after they didn't get it. And I guarantee you that every single person you look up to has failed or been rejected more times than they can even remember. I think it's important for us to talk about rejection, to see it for what it really is and for what it really isn't. Because I can tell you honestly that I have never gotten a gig that I formally auditioned for. I can also tell you that every time I didn't get the gig, that rejection left me available for another, oftentimes better opportunity. This video is all about rejection and how to deal with it.
Rejection. It's oftentimes associated with failure, and I'm going to keep this thing kind of short, but I want to just say that our failures do not define who we are. We might fail at things, you might fail at things, but you as a person are not a failure. I think it's very important that we separate incidents from identity. I'll say that again. Separating incidents from identity. Just because you missed out on one gig or messed up one audition, it does not mean that you are a failure. It doesn't mean that you're a failure as a musician, and it doesn't mean that you are a failure as a person. You have value in the world, and if you are called to do music in this world, we need you to do it. So do not give up. You might have failed at something, and I think what we can do right now is just take a look at some really simple objective things on why you may have messed something up or might have not gotten the gig or the audition. I think there's a handful of things. Number one, were you prepared? That seems pretty obvious, but did you actually learn the material? Did you learn it inside and out? If you are, for me, if I'm a guitar player auditioning for something, did I learn note for note, tone for tone, feel to feel, everything off the original recorded album? Did I go on YouTube and look up live recordings of this band playing these songs from 5 years ago, 2 years ago, last month? Did I learn their live arrangements without them telling me to? Did I learn the nuances of how they've changed the arrangement and the feel of the thing, how the song has morphed from the time it was first conceived? That's an important thing. You can go way above and beyond in your preparation to prevent failure at an audition. Maybe you learned all the parts, had the stuff down. You had the rhythms, you had the right notes, but you played with zero emotion. You played with zero soul. Nobody's going to feel anything. At that point, it's just like MIDI input. Just all the right rhythms at all the right time with no feel, no thing. Nobody's going to be compelled like that. We are human beings. These are computers. That's what separates us, emotion and soul. Hey, back off. I didn't mean it. I did mean it. This one right here, it's just a nice monitor. It doesn't have any soul. Did you nail the rhythms and the notes and you played with emotion and soul, but your tone was whack? You're not gonna get the gig if you got whack tone. It's the year 2020. As I'm making this video, you might be watching it in the future. But as I make this video, in the year 2020, people are expecting dope tones from everything you do. It doesn't have to be the most fancy, high-tech, newest technology. It doesn't have to be the vintage thing, everybody. It just has to be a tone that's really great, that fits the thing, that is right down the middle, exactly what that thing is that you're going for. If you're going for a thing, but have gear that's not quite getting the thing that you're going for, that might be one of your problems. That might be why you didn't get the gig. And then there are plenty of other things that have nothing to do with music. Plenty of reasons why we get rejected as musicians, and it has nothing to do with music. I have seen this countless times where amazing musicians have been rejected, fired, let go of gigs, all because of personal things. They showed up late to every rehearsal. They showed up late to every sound check. Halfway through the tour, they just kind of gave up on any of the actual interpersonal communications or workings of the band. Maybe you're just really hard to communicate with in the first place. That can be a turnoff to a lot of people because they might think that you have some sort of arrogant or standoffish personality when really you might just not be communicating well. You might be a total prick. You're gonna wanna fix that soon because that doesn't really work in the music industry. Are you boring to look at while you're performing? Is it a stage gig? Are you really boring to watch on stage? Do you just have no vibe in the way that you present yourself with your wardrobe, your clothing? Because what you wear on stage is wardrobe. It's not just, as soon as you hit the stage, you are seen as a performer, and at that point, it is wardrobe. If you think about the way that you look, and it's purposeful and intentional, that is going to help you. If you have no intention of caring about that, and that might be a reason why you're just not connecting with audiences. A lot of it has to do with your personality on stage. Are you connecting with the audience? Are you projecting the thing that you're doing? If you're backing up another artist, is what you're doing, is the way that you're presenting yourself on stage really projecting the message that that artist wants to do? If you are the front person of the band, is the way that you're presenting yourself a way that really puts your message and who you are as an artist on a pedestal? Or does it actually make it seem like, oh, I like their music, but the live show was kind of whack because they were really boring to watch?
Yeah, like that. That's a groove right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is tight. That's good work. Yeah.
Where's Emily?
She left you something right there.
Following internal review, it has come to our attention that the guitar playing, as presently being rendered, is insufficient with the standards and practices set forth by our organization for this album. It is with regret that we inform you that you will be unable to
You can't play guitar. You're fired.
I have never gotten the gig for any formal audition that I've done. I'm going to tell you about one formal audition that I did for the band Soul Asylum. If any of you are close friends of mine or know me fairly well, you'll know that I love 90s alt rock. I am obsessed with 90s alt rock. The majority of my playlists in Spotify and Apple Music are 90s alt rock playlists. So when Michael Bland and Dave Perner asked me to audition for Soul Asylum, I was stoked. I prepared so well. I got my stereo AC30s because I knew that Murph used those on a lot of the records and on a lot of the live touring. I got my pedal sitch going. I played all the right guitars. I had a Les Paul. I learned all the parts note for note from the albums. I learned their live arrangements from the last 3 tours that they did because they were all 3 different arrangements of some of the songs. They asked me to learn 3 songs for the audition. I learned all those plus the other hits. I prepared so well. But when I got in that room and I started playing with that band, I realized I'm not the cat for this gig. And I feel like musically, I really nailed the gig. I had a great tone. I had the right feel. I was playing a little more on top than I would normally would. I was pushing, driving, angsty. But I was still me, the way that I present myself, my personality, my character, who I am as a person came out. Because in some cases, I just kind of can't help it. It's who I am. A lot of times, we just don't get the gig. We don't get the job because we're not the right fit. Had I gotten that gig, I would not have been at Bunkers the night that the cats from Wolfpack came in and first met me. But I think for some of us, what we need to do when we get rejected from something is look at it as a lesson, a learning experience, and an opportunity for us to just do something else. So again, I want to reiterate what I said at the very beginning. Just because you failed at something, it does not mean that you are a failure. Keep hanging in there. If you need to work on your musical stuff, if you need to work on your tone, if you need to work on not being a prick, then just keep doing it. Keep at it, and hopefully you'll find your place and the thing that you're supposed to be doing within the calling that you were called to do. How about that?